Hi folks and welcome to Solving Equations 1. This is going to be a little bit of a video lesson to help you through the process of solving an equation. Yesterday we looked at writing them, today we're going to look at to solve them. So to solve an equation is to find the value that makes both sides the same or equal. For example, if we were to say solve 4x is equal to 20, we would be looking for the value of x that makes the left side and the right side of this equation equal. Well, we know the solution probably by eyeballing it. When x equals 5, the equation is solved. To check this, we use a left side, right side check. Sometimes I short form it as left side, right side. The way it works is we write separately the entire left side and separately the entire right side. You can see that 4x comes from the left side and 20 comes from the right side. Next, we substitute the value of our solution in anywhere where there's a variable. So we had x here, our solution was x equals 5, so we plug in a 5. And we carry out the multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20. So since the left side equals the right side, x equals 5 is the solution. Now, we can often solve easy equations by observation. Here's an above example. Y plus 2 equals 4. To solve this, we're starting to think, find a number which becomes 4 when you add 2 to it. Well, we all know the number that becomes 4 when you add 2 to it. It's 2. Furthermore, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So we can often do that check just in our heads. But one of the things we're going to be cautioned about is doing too much work without showing steps. We learn to solve difficult problems by undoing the equation around the variable. If you show your steps now, life is much easier later. Let's take a look at our example again. It was y plus 2 equals 4. For this solution, I need to isolate y, which means I need to get y all on its own. So down here in my solution, you'll see that I have y on its own. Now, how did I get that? Well, the original equation, I wrote it down. Y plus 2 equals 4. Then I subtracted 2 from both sides. When I subtract 2 from positive 2, I'm left with just y. All that's left over on the left side is y. And then I take 4 and subtract 2, and I get 2. Well, the next thing becomes, how do we know when to add, when to subtract, or when to do something different? There's some pretty simple rules. The opposite operation is used to undo the equation. If we are multiplying by a value, If we are multiplying by a value, then we divide by the value. So if you're multiplying a variable by 4, to get rid of the 4, divide by 4. We do the opposite thing for division. If we're dividing by a value, then we multiply by the value. So let's say we're taking a variable and dividing it by 2, we're going to multiply it by 2. We do the same for adding and subtracting. They're opposites of each other. If you're adding by a value, subtract the value. If we're subtracting by a value, add the value. Let's take a quick look at a couple of examples to help us through this. Example 1. Solve. 2x is equal to minus 4. Here, we're multiplying by 2. Our variable is x. We want to get it alone. What are we doing to x? We're multiplying it by 2. To get rid of the 2, I divide by 2. And if I do that to one side, I must do it to the other side as well. So 2x divided by 2 leaves me with x on the left side, and negative 4 divided by 2 leaves me with negative 2 on the right side. That's an example of solving equations using multiplication. Let's take a look at one using addition. Here we have x plus 3 is equal to 4. Well, I have x, I'm adding 3 to it. To undo the equation, I use the opposite operation. In this case, it's subtracting 3. So then if I do it from one side, I have to do it to the other. My 3's cancel. Plus 3 minus 3 is 0. So all I'm left with on the left side is x. And 4 minus 3 leaves me with positive 1 on the right side. So my solution is x equals 1. Now we have another equation. X divided by 2 is equal to 3. Right now we have just x and we're dividing it by 2. To get rid of division, we use the opposite operation, or multiplication. So we'll multiply by 2. And if we do it to one side, we must do it to the other. So we'll have 2 times x divided by 2, which is going to simplify. My x's will cancel, and I'll be left with x on the left side, and on the right side, I'll be left with 6. So my solution to this question is x equals 6. Lastly, example 4. Solve x minus 6 is equal to 2. Here I'm subtracting 6 from my variable. To get rid of the subtracting 6, or to undo it, I'll add 6 to that side. Now, if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. When I do this, I find that minus 6 plus 6 becomes 0. And 2 plus 6 becomes 8. So I'm left with this solution, x equals 8. To do a quick left side, right side check of this, I would type left side, and I would write the entire left side of the equation. That was x equals 6. Now I would substitute in my value. So I had 8. 8 minus 6, I need to simplify, and I would get 2. If I check the right side, my right side was 2. So because my left side equals my right side, I know that my solution is correct. If this was something other than 2, I would have an incorrect solution. So that should be all you need to get through the Solving Equations Part 1 homework. It's 1-6 homework. You have the entire period to work on it, and you can use this video to help you out. The solutions aren't posted, but they will be posted this evening. Make sure to go check them.